the build guys, they're good because they find ways to say yes to something rather than saying no to something. They're very open to new things, to new concepts. Really anything that I throw at them, they say, okay, we'll make it work. So yeah, I wanted a carbon copy and a guitar with the delay pedal. I wanted because I do a lot of the feedback, self-oscillating sort of stuff that we do on the record. So I wanted to emulate that live without bending over and looking really awkward doing it. So I had it installed in the guitar, some kill switches, a sustainer pickup, and a fuzz that also can do like an oscillating thing, like a fuzz factory sort of. So between all that, I can get into trouble pretty easily. Thinking of the guitar as a texture rather than always playing lead lines or playing full chords, that's kind of exciting to me, and there's a lot of that on the record. I think people might be surprised just what things are synths and what things are actually just guitar parts that have sort of been manipulated. A lot on Tiptor, the second track on the album, that whole intro section, all of that sound is coming from just guitars, so it sounds pretty synthed out, but it's all just guitar, octave down, sustainer, and a bunch of different things, reverse guitar. So I think that's a cool thing. That's kind of typical of what I like to do is in the intro of that song. I don't know, I never really gravitated toward learning a certain lick, or a certain riff. Obviously there's some that every guitar player has to learn, and of course I learned those, but I've always been more interested in just creating melodies on the guitar, whether it's just, it felt a little bit more creative to me than regurgitating a lick. And I studied a lot of jazz when I went to college, and so I think that sort of transitioned into my playing when I play rock now is more just playing a little bit more like by ear rather than learning a certain lick that will get me by, So I think it makes you be more creative and think more in terms of melody and orchestration almost rather than in licks. When I started playing in Imagine Dragons, I stopped doing that. I don't play jazz as much anymore. I still love it. I don't play it as much, so I don't really practice anymore. I play a lot, but I'm more concerned about songwriting and serving a song and coming with ideas that are new or innovative to me. The first thing that comes to mind when I think about what's changed recently is that as a band we were loading our own gear for 3.5 years, and the last a little bit less than a year or so we've had people that carry our gear for us, and that's such a big deal when you've been doing it for so long. Like, to not pull your back out and doing all the lifting. I mean, that's funny that that's the first thing I think of, because it's really awesome. I mean, it's a huge blessing to have crew around you now that can handle that and worry about if a speaker's blown, then you don't have to be like on the phone right then trying to find a replacement, or tubes go bad and you're kind of out of luck for that gig. So that stuff is a little bit nicer, a little bit less stress on stage, I think, is nice. From a gear perspective, to have a tech that knows as much about gear as you do, finally, like someone who understands your likes and dislikes and gets you, sort of, really nice. I'm really spoiled that way with my tech now, so I'm happy. I play ELIXIR Strings, because they sound the best to me. They just sound the fullest. There's something thick about the sound that I haven't found in other strings, and that's why I play them.